Good morning again. Step 2 of painting. I am going back into my sky. I had that gradual transition of color, and now I'm going to go over it and put the clouds. There's a couple different ways you can do clouds. You can see that I started this here already. I tend to do two things. I'll look to see if some of that blue is coming through. If the blue is coming through in my clouds, I tend to water down some of the white. So I'm going to take some white and then I'm going to add a little bit of water to it so that some of the blue can come through. Probably like a nice big round brush might work. I really wish I had some better brushes to work with clouds, but we have to use what we have. So what I tend to do is, you can see here, I started to do clouds and it has that blue coming through. I'll start over here because you can see better. So what I'm going to do is just start to add like this layer, but very light layer of clouds where that blue pushes through still. And here, you know, there's no clouds in this little section here, so I'm going to like leave some of that blank where I don't see clouds. And I'm just gonna, you know, do the best I can. I can't get it to be exact unless I'm really paying close attention to it, and I have, you know, a good like months and months and months to work on it. So I'm just putting like a nice layer down. I'm starting to just kind of come into the painting. I tend to like to, sometimes I'll do like a swipey motion, but then I start to get that cloudy effect by just doing like a roundabout motion. Just to make it look like it's clouds. And when I do that roundabout motion, some areas, you know, you'll catch some of that paint where it's like a little darker of the paint coming in onto it. And then what I'll just do is just kind of keep just going over it with like this rounded motion. And it should tone it down a little bit. So it just kind of makes it look a little bit more natural when you're like this. It might ruin the brush a little bit when doing that circular motion. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you wash those brushes really good. Wash them, and then make sure that, you know, you're kind of putting them into a nice point, like up like that. Because like, look, you can see like my brush is already starting to fray, and I hate that when it happens when I go to try to paint. So make sure that you wash those brushes good and put a nice point back onto your paintbrush. If you're having bigger clouds like these here, like more billowy clouds where you don't see any of that blue coming through, what I tend to do is get, I don't water down my clouds. I will just get the white on my brush, and then I will just start at the top, and I'll just start to, you know, do that billowy roundabout motion. Kind of just watch where my clouds are going. And a lot of the times as you come down, the clouds start to get like a different color to them, whether it's already the color that's underneath your clouds, like the color from like your first layer, or you might need to add, like this one almost looks like I got a gray tone. So maybe if I mix some paint with some black, get a little bit of gray going underneath these clouds. Because I don't want you to just put plain white clouds. You know, they're always going to have different color variations, whether it's gray or different values of the white coming through. And eventually, I wonder if I just get some water and kind of try to fade it into that underlayer. Wipe off my brush. Just kind of start to fade it into that color I have. So you'll notice that a lot of times that with canvas, it you know, that's the one thing I don't like about acrylics, is that they dry fast and it's hard to blend. So sometimes adding just a little bit of water to either the paint or the brush, it tends to help. Okay, so as you can see, my clouds are nice and billowy and white up here, just like this. And then underneath it, it's got like this gray tone to it, okay? Yours might be different, but that's basically how you're going to handle it. You might have like different colors in there. You just wanna, you know, pay attention to where that color goes. And you wanna do that rounded motion, okay? Sometimes like if it's, you know, the thinner clouds where you see the color coming through, water down your paint, okay? So those are the two tips with clouds.